Hey, how's it going, guys? Mr. Boss for the win here, and in today's Grand Theft Auto 5 video, I'm going to be touching on something that I think is really cool. So almost a year ago today, I think I made this video in June of 2015. I told you guys about Grand Theft Auto 5 in 2015 versus how it looked in 2010. And as kind of a brief reminder, I'll show you guys some before and after images right now. So these before images came from a graphic design artist for Grand Theft Auto 5 when it was being developed in 2010. His name is Jonathan Gwynn, and I'll actually leave a link to his site in the description. It's still up, and you can still check out these images. And obviously, as you can tell right now, the map is pretty bare bones. And you would expect that for a game that was still in development. It was still in 2010, and it's crazy just looking at the before and after shots. All the little details that Rockstar put in, whether it was trees or whether it was barriers or whether it was graffiti on things. So many little details went into making this game. And these before and after shots are pretty awesome. I will say so myself. And you can look at the before ones in the description down below. I'll leave a link to both of these websites. However, recently, and this is why I wanted to touch on this, and this, I guess, can sort of serve as like a part two or a continuation to the video I made in 2015, there was another environmental artist named Darren Charles Hatton. Now, Darren Charles Hatton, he worked at Rockstar Games from 2009 to 2010, and I'll leave his website in the description as well. We're going to be looking at a bunch of different images from what Grand Theft Auto 5 used to look like in 2010, and then thanks to another YouTuber, GTA Expert, we're actually going to look at what those locations look like in 2015. So on the website, Darren states, these are small samples of environment artwork that I took ownership of during the making of Grand Theft Auto 5. He states, I was given 2 blocks to take from gray box through the textured polish. Unlike other companies I've worked for, I had ownership of these 2 blocks. Everything in these areas I controlled, from the way the building sat and interacted with the empty space, assets creating UV and texture, dirt blending between buildings and the environment floor, and gameplay design to a point. Now he states he left Rockstar North to go to 2K Australia for personal reasons, and he was creating and working on these environments and these buildings in 2010. And as you guys can see right here, it's pretty crazy to see some of the designs he was working on. So it looks like he was working on some sort of apartment complex, a few buildings as well. What looks to be like a main storefront that had UC written on the front. Obviously, that's been changed now. And in a little bit, like I mentioned, we're going to be taking a look at GTA Expert's video. He was very kind enough to let me kind of sample some of the things that he found in this video and mine. So I'll also leave a link to that in the description if you want to check it out also. And these, as you can see right here, are some of the differences. On the top, you have the beta version, which was created by Darren. And on the bottom, you have the final version. So definitely some things you'll notice between the beta version and the final version is, number one, the logos. Some logos were changed, whether they were just placeholder names or they were names that Rockstar had not yet developed and were kind of rough drafts. So you can see it changed from UC to Lars and Elbow. So that was, I guess, finalized by the time Grand Theft Auto 5 launched. Another thing I noticed was either the significant removal or the significant addition of trees in the game. I don't know what it is. Maybe it was like a memory thing or a RAM or a processing thing, but it seems like in a lot of the beta shots of Grand Theft Auto 5, there were a ton of palm trees, cherry trees, big, pine trees. And when the game came out, it seemed like it was cut by nearly 40 or 50 or 60%. So in these beta shots, you'll either see a lot of trees or you'll see no trees, and then you'll see vice versa in the final shot, which obviously I think is really interesting. Apparently trees take up a lot of memory, especially when they were developing this for the 360 and PS3. I could certainly see why there would be such a need to conserve space and conserve memory. As I kind of mentioned with the other set of screenshots, in the final version, you can just see so much more detail, whether it's power lines being attached to buildings, whether it's lines being drawn on the asphalt and the pavement announcement indicating that one shouldn't park there, or adding yellow parking placards or whatnot all over the place, adding street lamps and finishing up the interior if there was one to be added. So it just looks like there was a lot of changes that were made. Lots of little tiny details that were added to these final copies of these buildings. And it really does kind of just expand your mind a little bit about what had to go in to perfecting Grand Theft Auto 5. It looks like in 2010, these artists came in, they designed these buildings, but then they really touched them up, adding the finest of details, whether it's a broken brick here, whether it's a dangling power line there. It's just crazy to see the transformation that Grand Theft Auto 5 went to from 2010 to when it was released in 2013, and when the final versions were released in late 2014 and early 2015. It really is incredible just to see the work that Rockstar Games did on this and ultimately creating this game. And if you get anything from this video, you should just take in how long it takes to create an environment like Grand Theft Auto 5. And that's probably why the next installment of the Grand Theft Auto series, whether it's GTA 6 or the next Grand Theft Auto game, probably won't be out for a while because it takes such a long time. I don't even want to know how long this guy was working on this, but he said, and according to his website, that he was at Rockstar North from June 2009 to June 2010, and those are all the submissions he sent us. Now, there obviously could be some parts of his work that he couldn't show, but if he was working on just those small aspects of Grand Theft Auto 5 for a year, it's crazy to not only imagine what other people could be making, but just, again, how long it takes to put something like this together and ultimately get the final product ready to go and shipped out to consumers, which is us, in 2013. So as always, I'd love to hear from you guys in the comment section down below. I thought this was a super interesting video, and I thought it was pretty crazy to see how little detail there was in 2010, and then obviously the completed versions 2013, 2014, and 2015. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. If you're interested more of any of the things we talked about, links will be in the description. If you did go on to enjoy, a like rating would of course be awesome. And also subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new, or you like daily GTA 5 videos like this. With out the way, guys, like I said, thanks for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.